Hey guys, how's it going? It is the end of the day and the weather has been so nice here. So we're back for our weekly Q&A and it has been a good week. You guys got to see a lot that happened. Brent and I got to take a couple days off. We went out to the coast and it was so nice. I didn't film while we were out there. We didn't do anything work related while we were out there, and it was just so nice to just get away and not even think about work. We haven't really done that in quite a while, so it was really good. Last week's videos were so good. We announced the secret, so we announced that we were getting a BC greenhouse, which is so exciting. The next video that we did was I added wisteria to the garden. Then we did the containers up front, the entry. We skipped the cleanup, planted the rest of my annuals, and then the last video was the honeysuckle that stole the show. And then we also had a Saturday video out. We film our Q&As on Fridays and then we edit them Saturdays, so I can't pull any questions from it. Any videos that go live on Saturdays, we typically don't pull questions from anyways. I do try to be pretty responsive in the comments on those videos though. So if you see any future Saturday videos, I try to be responsive in the comments. If you have questions, I will answer them in that. Before we jump into the video, I wanted to say we are so close to 40,000 subscribers. So if you haven't had a chance to, maybe today's the day that you hit that subscribe button. It is totally free and it helps out my channel more than you guys know. I know some people get annoyed when people ask them to subscribe, but it really does help out. So if you've hit that subscribe button, thank you. If you haven't, maybe today's the day you decide to. The first video that we did last week was the Q&A, and that was This Changes Everything, the secret we've been dying to tell you. And it was so incredibly hard for me to not tell you guys that we were getting a greenhouse. It's incredibly hard for me to not tell you what style we're getting or where it's going or anything about it. I am terrible about keeping secrets. It just eats me alive. I'm so bad at it. The first question on that video is from Bruce Austin, and they had said, your new greenhouse will give you lots of post opportunities. I am anxious to see how you use a greenhouse. Hopefully I will get some good ideas to incorporate into my greenhouse. Now and out of the blue question, have you ever used a stainless steel hose? Do you know the pros and cons? Do they let the same amount of water flow as the conventional hose? Thanks for all you do for the garden community. I am really excited to get the greenhouse because last week I had talked about how I was nervous about running out of content here because we're on a small property, and the greenhouse is definitely going to provide a lot more content and better quality content, which I'm really excited about, especially in the winter time. And then as far as a stainless steel hose, I have never used one. My grandmother had one and I was really excited to see how it worked because they don't kink or anything like that. But the issue is, my grandparents are really good about turning their hose on and off at the spigot, so they don't keep pressure inside their hoses. I keep pressure in my hoses. I'm terrible about turning them off at the spigot. All of my Hoselinks, you're supposed to turn them off at the spigot and drain out the water. I don't do that. My grandparents had stainless steel hoses. They loved them until they did not love them, and they did not last very long, and they're quite expensive. So I will say the experiences that I've had with them, I enjoyed it, but I also didn't own it. My grandparents had it and they loved it until they didn't love it. With the price point, they actually just ended up buying 3 Hoselinks. So I will just say that they bought 3 Hoselinks because they prefer the Hoselink better than the stainless steel hose. I should also mention they get really hot in the summertime, the stainless steel ones, because it's metal, so the water that comes out of them really hot, and the hose itself gets really hot. The Hoselinks, the lighter ones, stay cooler. We have light ones and we have the charcoal ones, and the charcoal ones do cook a bit, but honestly, we love our Hoselinks. We've got 4 of them, and we love all 4 of them. And our Hoselink that we've had, the longest we've had for 4 years? 5 years? I think 5 years. We've had it for 5 years. And it's still going totally strong. 0 issues with it. The hose is still amazing, and it almost never kinks in the garden. The hose, the size of them are amazing. I will say too that they just came out with a 100-foot hose reel, so if you need something that's really long, they've got that now. It is a smaller diameter, so a little bit less water pressure comes out of it. I also do occasionally work with Hoselink. They sponsor 1 video a month, and they also give me a coupon code, so I will pop it up on the screen and put it in the description. If you use that coupon code, you get, I think, $10 off of $50. I think that's what it is. The next question on that video is from Cheryl Olson, and she had said, hi Robbie, can you do a video showing us how you use the proven winner fertilizer in the automatic sprayer? I need help understanding how much fertilizer to put in and what number the dial to set the sprayer at. My sprayer dial has ounces to choose from. Thanks so much. So this is the one that we use. It's by Chapin, and this has been the best one that we have found that we've absolutely loved. I have a quick connect from Hoselink on here, but this just attaches to your hose, and then you put in your fertilizer in here. You can see I've actually still got some fertilizer in here. Brent usually puts in 5 scoops that it comes with in here, and then this is set to a tab right here that says 6 ounces, 12 tablespoons, 36 teaspoons is what it's set to. So that's the setting that we use. 5 of the, I think it's tablespoons is what it is, 5 tablespoons of the Proven Winners water soluble fertilizer goes into this, and then you just use this until it all runs out. And then on here you set it to dry. You can set it to wet or to dry, and then you can also just set this one to off so it doesn't pull up any of the fertilizer, but we set it to dry fertilizer because that's what we're using. It puts some water in here, it sucks it up and sprays it out, and then we just go to each of the annuals that we have on our property and make sure that they get it right at the root base. And then once this runs clear, then it's time to refill it. So about 5 of the spoonfuls and then 6 ounces. I also wanted to say something about the fertilizer because I got a couple questions about it over on Instagram. Right now, the Proven Winners water soluble fertilizer is so expensive on Amazon. I would not buy it at the price point that it is currently on Amazon. If you can find it for like $15 to like $18, $19, it's totally worth it to buy it. The Amazon price is absolutely insane. I haven't found anywhere else online that like has normal pricing with shipping included, or has like super low pricing and then like shipping that brings it up to a normal price. Everywhere seems to be so expensive right now. So I would personally, there's one from Miracle Grow. This is probably the one that I would use in place of the Proven Winners one if you can't get your hands on the Proven Winners one. I'm gonna link it in the description down below. I think it's like less than $20, and it's actually, you get way more product than you get from the Proven Winners one. And I was looking at the ingredients and I was looking at reviews and it all seemed pretty great. So if you can't find the Proven Winners water soluble fertilizer one, get this Miracle Grow one. I was able to find it locally at the Ace Hardware in Gridley, California. They had it. I don't know how much they have left, but I would not pay the Amazon price. And the last question on that video is from Kathleen, and she had said, "Hi Robbie, does Brent have a plant he absolutely hates that is in the garden?" He does not currently, but the one that he hated the most, we had 2 forsythia bushes up front, and he hated them. He hated them from when I planted them. I love forsythia. I think it's so pretty when they're blooming in the springtime, but ours just kind of got gangly and weird really quickly, and I thought they were going to be kind of a big shrub, and they didn't. And then I also added another forsythia and it died. And I don't know, it never did anything for him. He's never liked them, so I ended up taking the ones out front, and he is so much happier now. The next video that we did was I added wisteria to the garden. No, I'm not worried. And I am so excited to have that wisteria, and it is already putting on so much growth. It's so exciting. I really can't believe how much it's like shot up. The first question on that video is from Yolanda, and she had said, "Question about the salvia. I have a spot I was thinking of planting some, but definitely gets hot afternoon sun here in Redding. Are there any varieties that are more heat tolerant? My alternative plan is possibly lantana." Lantana does well, salvia does well in the hot afternoon sun. We have some that is in the hot, hot, hot afternoon sun. I mean, you're only, what, 40 minutes away from me? So salvia does great. You could also do things like Russian sage. They have dwarf varieties of Russian sage. That does well. Petunias do well with the hot afternoon sun here. You could do yarrow. Yarrow does really well in the hot afternoon sun. There's a ton of things that do really, really well with just cooking in the sun. The next question on that video is from Debbie, and she had said, "So which one doesn't Brent like, the sedum or the salvia? I love how you planted the salvia. Looks amazing at an angle. How long will the columbine stay blooming? I think that's my favorite in your garden." The columbine is definitely my favorite. I love columbine, especially that pink petticoat one. Beautiful in the garden. Okay, I totally said Brent doesn't like one of these, and then I never told you guys which one it was. Totally spaced it, and when we went to go edit, I was like, I can't believe I didn't say which one. He doesn't like the sedum. He doesn't like sedums at all. I think only the lemon coral one is the one you like. That's it. And he only likes it because it doesn't flower. He doesn't like the flowers, and he doesn't typically like the growth of them. I have them in 3 spots now, and he hates them. Oh, there's a plant you hate. He doesn't hate it, he says. He doesn't love them. he would be happier without them. And the last question on that video is from Lisa Beaver, and she had said, do you mulch? I see a lot of weeds and mulch helps with weed control. We typically do mulch. This year I've kind of decided to be really late about mulching. Normally my mulch happens a while ago. This year it hasn't happened because we are doing so much planting, and because there's been so many other big projects that have been going on, like the gravel and pathways and the raised beds and all that stuff, that there just hasn't been time to mulch. And if I had mulched and then I'm digging all these holes, I'm gonna bury all the mulch that I just planted with soil. So it makes 0 sense for me to mulch right now until I get those beds basically full and I'm basically done planting. I won't be doing any mulch, but I will be mulching at some point, just 0% chance it's happening in the next month or two. The next video that we did was the entry. These containers turned out so good, and we did a little bit of shopping, and then we did the front containers, and they look so good. They're so much better. I'm so glad that I waited and I found the proper thing for those. First question on that video is from Norma, and she had said, where did you buy the pink rose bush? So the pink rose is an Eden climber, and I ordered it online from Heirloom Roses. And honestly, I figured out that you can find that exact variety of rose from garden centers for way cheaper. I will say Heirloom Roses, their thing is that they do own root roses. So if the top of your rose dies back, any shoot that comes up is from that same variety. I think that you can find them for like 40 bucks at local garden centers, where I think they're like 65 or something like that on Heirloom Roses. So Heirloom Roses, or I would try finding it locally, because you're usually gonna find a bigger plant locally. The ones that I found I think a few of them at Green Acres, and the size was like this, whereas the one that I got from Heirloom Roses, it was like little teeny tiny, but it did take off quite well. The next question on that video is from Kathy, and she had said, how old is the Eden rose on the fence? I don't remember that from before. I'm curious on the growth. It appears to have grown fast. What did you feed it? Okay, so that is, I think, 3 years old at this point, and when we got it, it was teeny tiny little sticks, and I do feed it rose tone every single year. All of my roses get a good handful of rose tone, just to make sure that they are off to the best start possible. It's one that I've been using for years, and I absolutely love rose tone. And yeah, it's like 3 years old, so it didn't take long for it to do that. The next question on that video is from KT Chimp, and they had said, did you get the topiaries from Ace? I have such a hard time finding that style. What you did in the front looks beautiful. I love your channel and the music you put with your videos. Thank you. Brent spends a lot of time trying to find music for the videos, and he tries to match it to the vibe of that specific video. So that's something that we're very proud of, is the music. He spends a lot of time doing that. And then the topiaries, I got those from Home Depot, and they were $49 each. And the last question on that video is from Donna, and she had said, curious, how do you know where every plant is? Do you keep a spreadsheet? Or do you keep plant tags with each, or are you just that good? I love your enthusiasm and excitement. Keep up the great work you do. I absolutely love your channel. Thank you. Do you want to hand me those buckets? This is how I keep track. So this is my container from 2024, and it has everything that I planted. I keep one plant tag from absolutely everything. All of my annuals, perennials, so I usually try to go through them and pull out ones that didn't work, or ones that are no longer alive, so I usually try to get rid of the annuals, but I do try to keep all of the perennials in here, because I never remember what anything is. I make videos, and that helps a lot. That's kind of my like garden journal, but I do keep all of the tags. So like, I've got my Arabian Jasmine in here, lots of Proven Winter stuff still. I tried Denim and Lace, Russian Sage, Storm Cloud. I've got some Pink Diamond. I've got a Forever Red Heuchera. So I keep all of my plant tags, and then this is this year's so far. and there will be many, many more. So I do try to keep all of my plant tags. I think that this one also might be some from 2023 in here also, because I think most of these Proven Winners might have been planted in 2023. Or did we plant at the end of 2024? We got a Proven Winners load at the end of 2024, huh? I think there's a lot of plants. So this was pretty much one whole year, and then this is all this year right now into this container. So this is what I do. This sits on our coffee table outdoors, and then this one is sitting in a cabinet inside of our like guest bedroom. And every time I plant, I throw my plant tag in here just so I always have at least one of them. And then as far as remembering which plants are which, for the most part, because I film so many garden tours, I can remember who is who now. You guys are gonna see I'm gonna film a garden tour here for the beginning of the month. There are so many new plants that I've added in the garden, and I don't remember what half of them are. I don't remember the names. So this garden tour that's gonna come up, I'm like, yeah, that plant right there, that's a, I don't know, we'll pop it up on the screen. And that's what that whole video is going to be. It's gonna be rough. I already know. I haven't filmed it yet, but I just know it's gonna be rough because there's so many new perennials and new annuals that are in these raised beds that I'm just gonna have such a hard time remembering what all of them are. We'll see what happens. The next video that we did was skip the cleanup, planted the rest of my annuals. And it feels really good to get my annuals in the ground. I have a couple more spots where I'd like to tuck some things in, and those are just things that I'll probably just pick up from Home Depot, things that I don't need the Proven Winners vigor of the plants to grow. I just could use like some little pockets filled in or containers where I just want something staying small to fill in a little area. I'll just pick those up from Home Depot, Lowe's, places like that where they're kind of off-brand. I'll get like the Home Depot brand ones because they don't grow like crazy, you know? And the first question on that video is from Darlene, and she had said, Robbie, what is the name of the topiaries that you just planted in the pots in front of the house next to the Eden Rose, and what zone? So those are Eugenia topiaries, and they don't love the cold. They're growing zones 9A all the way through 11B, so higher zones only on those. I can leave them out all winter long. If we get really, really cold, like below 32, I might come out and wrap them up. I've got them in 4 spots now. So I've got one by our back door and one in our cut flower garden. I love them. They're a beautiful evergreen for us, but yeah, higher zones only. The next question on that video is from Empress Kimberly, and she had said, silly question, are you worried about the petunias may get fried when they hit up against the metal? I'm planting next to black asphalt and was worried about this when they creep over into it. I suppose the petunias would shade it and keep it cool. I'm not too worried about it. I mean, our summers get like 115 degrees here. They get really hot. And so, I mean, last year we didn't deal with any issues, and we had the metal edging up in the very front, and we had it in our side yard and our walkway, and we didn't have any issues with plants burning or the metal edging getting too hot. And I'm not super worried about this one. I mean, like, yeah, like you said, the petunias are gonna spill over and they're gonna shade the metal edging. And as far as the asphalt, I probably wouldn't worry about it either. I would assume that they're gonna spill over it, and they may get a little fried on crazy hot days, but I mean, petunias are just workhorses in the garden. The next question on that video is from Desiree, and she had said, how long do you run your drip irrigation? We run it, right now we're running it about 15 minutes a day. In the heat of summer, we will run it for 30 minutes, but we break it up into 2. So we'll do 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening. And then if it needs it on like the really, really hot days, we will go ahead and we will just manually do a 3rd run in the middle of the day if it needs it. The next question on that video is from Danielle, and she had said, does anyone remember the mulch Robbie uses? I think it might be Garden Time, which he said he gets from Lowe's. And I did reply to that comment, but since we talked about mulch, I figured I would answer it here too. I love the Garden Time Pathway mulch. It's from Home Depot and from Lowe's. You can get it at either place, but Lowe's typically offers it at a way better price. So I would check out Lowe's. There's been one time that we had a bag that was like really big sticks, and I was really annoyed by it. But most of the time it's a really fine, soft mulch, and it breaks down usually within a year. And so like you don't have those big, huge chunks of mulch left, and it doesn't like draw attention. It makes it so that the plants can actually shine in your garden, but I absolutely love it. And the last question on that video was from Debbie, and she had said, those jelly beans are looking good. I love that they're the jelly beans. For your front where you were wanting something tall and pink, have you seen the new Proven Winners Tropical Hollywood Hibiscus Annual Series? I ordered the pink one called Talk of the Town. It gets 4 to 5 feet tall, or the Social Butterfly one has pinks, yellows, and orange flowers. Your front will be so pretty with jazzberry and bubblegum. Thank you. I was actually just, we had read your question and I looked at Brent and he said, yeah. So we actually are probably going to end up adding a hibiscus up there. He loves hibiscus flowers. For me, they're a little too tropical, but you know what, up front, let's just do it. They are selling them at the Ace Hardware in Gridley, And if she has any left, I think we should just probably run down there and grab some. At least one. We're having one. I'm not adding a whole bunch of them. I don't typically love them, but the big, huge, like dinner plate ones are really cool, and I think it would be fun up there, and they get to a really good size. His eyes are literally lighting up. And the last video for the week was the honeysuckle that stole the show and cleaning up the side yard. And the Kinsley Ghost honeysuckle has my heart. It's so beautiful. I'm still so in love with it. And it actually didn't do much wilting at all. So I'm very, very happy to report on that. First question on this video is from Judy McCarrow, who was always a hoot. And Judy, my grandmother said that you were awfully quiet last week. So next week, you better ramp up the questions. She had said, how big do the hostas get? I was too busy telling you what to do and I didn't hear. Maybe they just be planted a little too close together. Maybe it's just the camera angle. And okay, maybe I was having an off day, but they're planted way too close together. But here's my thought. I'm gonna leave it. And should they actually reach mature size here, hostas don't always do best in my area. I love them to pieces. They don't always do reliably well for me. I can always dig up, divide, move, whatever I need to do, and that will be for next year me. This year, they're gonna be close together and they're gonna look beautiful, and next year, if they get too big, at the end of the season, I will move them if I need to. But I don't know, they're hostas, I'm not that worried about it. You just dig them and divide them anyways. The next question on that video is from Miss Maddox, and she had said, hi Robbie, have you tried the Surefire begonias in the area that gets 4 hours of hot sun? I've actually never grown the Surefire begonias. I just planted some of the Surefire cherry cordial ones. This is my first year ever growing them. And I have 3 of the Surefire white begonias, so that's probably something that I'm gonna go plant in that side yard just to try it out this year. I'm really excited to try the begonias. I've never grown the Surefire series, so it'll be a fun experiment. The next question on that video is from Kate, and she had said, you're going to need a second trellis. That honeysuckle gets wide. And I was thinking about that I probably am going to actually need more than one trellis. So my thought is, tell me what you guys think, if I put 2 more, if I put one on the left, one on the right of that, and then really created a wall, and then let that honeysuckle grow through all of them. I would have to put more PVC pipe in the ground, obviously. But if it was like 3 of them, and instead of them having to be straight, have it be this one, and then have this one be kind of angled, and this one kind of be angled in. So it kind of, I don't know, it's like one of those like trifold mirrors, you know, but have it be the Kinsley Ghost honeysuckle growing across all of it. I thought that would be really pretty. Not 100% sure if I have enough room for it. Just a thought in my brain. And the last question on that video is from Francis, and they had said, shame that you threw away the grasses. They could have been saved. Robbie wasted money when you throw away good plants. Give them away to your neighbors. And I will say that I did ask my neighbors, nobody wanted them, so they got thrown away. I typically don't just throw plants away just to throw them away. Also, I mean, if it's my garden, if I want to throw it away, I'll throw it away. But I do typically ask. I ask friends, I send out a photo, hey, do you guys want these plants? And for the most part, people tend to say no, they don't want them. So I don't just pull things out and just throw them away, I do try to save them if I can, or relocate them if I can. But nobody wanted them. I didn't cut them back last year, so they're just scraggly. They don't look like anything, and the blades of grass were all super intertangled. I asked my next door neighbor, she didn't want them, and then I asked one of my friends, and she didn't want them. So to the trash they went. Anyways, that is it for the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Give it a thumbs up, help me out a little bit, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I cannot wait for you guys to see what happens this week. And just a heads up, I will be probably taking off a video or 2, not this coming week, but the following week. One of my sisters is getting married on the 3rd, and so I have wedding duties that I have to attend to on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So we'll probably be missing a Q&A, and we might be missing another video, just so I can focus all my energy on my sister's wedding. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for visiting our garden, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.